After facing a death scare, the young Bo Bichette was called Chuck Norris by his nurses. This is a man who has openly come out about his mental health, his faith, and who has also helped his teammates on their journey as well. Today we reveal things like why he uses horse shampoo, why his father wanted him to be a tennis player, and other amazing things. Here's a fearless 24-year-old baseball shortstop whose struggles and successes have been apparent throughout the league. Named after the legend Bo Jackson, Bichette is one of those few players with great athletic genes. His father, Dante Bichette, was a four-time MLB All-Star, one-time National League home run leader, and one-time Silver Slugger champ. So, good genes. Check. However, this is not a story of a father teaching son what they know. Nothing like that. In fact, Dante actually wanted Bo, who is his youngest son, to play tennis. It's kind of strange if you think about it because he did name the kid after a baseball player. So what was Dante trying to do exactly? Well, he was concerned about his son breaking out as a baseball player, and to corroborate why tennis was a better choice, he would say, "No one fills out a lineup card for a tennis game." But Bo chose baseball in the Toronto Blue Jays, and the baseball world is happy for it. Nevertheless, he did play and still plays tennis. Here's Bo with a bat and confirming what we just said about his father. He then went on to acknowledge how mixing tennis and baseball has helped his professional game. We can't really argue with him, really. His numbers speak for him gallantly. And it's all because of that extra swing, which produces a tremendous bat power and speed, which former Canadian baseball catcher Joe Siddall once praised, quote, "He does it by separating and delaying torso rotation after the foot hits the floor after leg kick, exposing his back plate, surname, and number, before uncoiling the bat at the same angle as his shoulders. When facing a strikeout or payoff pitch, X2 or 3-2, he replaces the leg kick with the left knee bowing inwards." Okay, we get it. There are a lot of technicalities you may not understand, but Siddall basically just describes why Bo's batting technique is a powerful one, and it's partly thanks to his tennis playing. Moving on, there's another thing in the mix, his lineage. His maternal grandfather is of Chinese descent, and his mother is a Brazilian native. His mother's ancestry has led him and his elder brother, Dante Bichette Jr., who's a baseball third baseman, to represent Brazil in the World Baseball Classic. However, compared to his big brother, Bo's managed to stay in the spotlight since coming into the league in 2019 for the Toronto Blue Jays. He'd been selected with the 66th overall selection in the second-round pick, and his first game in the MLB was played at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, which was coincidentally the same stadium his father had also played his first game. Bo's father might have been a strong influence to his passion and work ethics for the game, but he declared that one of his biggest influences he had was the retired five-time All-Star shortstop Troy Tulowitzki. The youngster had said of the legend once, "He meant a lot. I may have figured out some things I learned from him along the way, but I definitely know that the work ethic, the determination, the focus, and the will to get better every day, and the will to help others get better, that type of stuff he did for other people and what he did for himself, I owe a lot to him, watching what he did and the way he treated me." And so far, the kid has been doing pretty well, and he's putting up amazing numbers. But before Bo was able to do any of this, he had faced a terrible, life-threatening injury that could have ended not only his career, but his life. But something miraculous happened. The kid was spectacular during his first professional games in 2016, having a batting average of .431 in 18 consecutive games. But then the injury came. He was reported as having an injury to his midsection. But Bo did what many wouldn't do, and played through the injury until he could no longer bear the pain. He was soon taken for a CAT scan, and the doctor confirmed that he had ruptured his appendix. Now listen, when this happens, a person might lose their life if it's not treated immediately. Surgery was imminent, but Bo didn't have surgery. Bo healed. Somehow his body absorbed the ruptured appendix and treated itself. And afterwards, Bo said, "I didn't have surgery or anything. I stayed in the hospital for like 2 days and then started to feel fine again. The nurses kept calling me Chuck Norris because they'd never seen anything like it." After he returned, he still managed to be named the Gulf Coast League's end-of-season All-Star at shortstop even after he missed more than half the games. He was a huge success in the minor league, and so far in the major league, he's shown a lot of promise. His growth has been quite apparent. In 2020, he finished the season with a batting average of .301, 5 home runs, and 23 RBIs in just 29 games. Then in 2021, he was named an All-Star and finished the league this time with 29 home runs, 102 RBIs, 25 stolen bases. But his most amazing feats on the 2021 season has to be him leading the American League in number of highest hits with 191 and leading the entire league in defense with 24 errors, or wouldn't you agree? Anyway, in the 2022 season, he has also proven his worth and has made a notable achievement recently when he had a 3-home run game against the Orioles. It's also nice to see players who much is expected from be able to stay on course and develop as they grow. By having a popular father who did pretty well during his time, it mustn't have been easy to keep his head straight. But Bo's managed to do that so far, and he credits his success to his relationship with God. He had once said, "I think that when you get that relationship with God, you can put things in perspective a little bit more. That really the only thing that matters is the effort you're putting in, the person you're being," things like that. Bo's always been open about his faith, and his Instagram page bio reads Philippians 4:6, which says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God." And Bichette has done pretty well keeping himself less anxious about the things he can't control. This is reflected too in his mental health and that of the people around him. He may not be as upbeat as fellow teammate Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who has an aura that is so high-spirited, the clubhouse is always in a good mood. Bo, on the other hand, who is more stoic and reserved, may be mistaken for proud. He is, however, a player that listens and is never afraid to talk about his emotions. And this, he said, he learned from his mother, Mariana. Talking about speaking out, Bo had said once, "That's probably true strength. It's definitely different this generation than last generation. It's definitely more acceptable to talk about your feelings. But I don't do that because of how this generation is. I just do it because that's who I am. What I go through doesn't define me. Things that I struggle with mentally do not define me." This quality has also rubbed off on his other teammates. Jordan Romano, who struggled on his first season in the MLB, once testified saying, "I just wouldn't talk about my struggles, just kept it bottled up." And then I heard Bo say he has these feelings and talk about how he worked around them, and I was like, God, this is normal. I mean, it's okay to talk about these things. One other thing that makes Bo so special is his passion to help others and see them grow. He's never been one to be selfish and has looked out for other people as well. For example, Bo's texted his coach, Jared Goodwin, about a kid he had seen in Lakewood and had wanted Goodwin, who was his coach at the time, to go scout him out. Goodwin was quoted as saying, "He's like, hey coach, this kid really deserves it. He's a great kid. Go see him. He's in the pros, and yet he's still trying to help kids and give them a chance to play some college ball. Kids who, honestly, probably wouldn't have had that chance without a little help." People don't see that side of Bo. He's a kid that wants to lead, wants to help others. He's just an awesome, special kid. You don't find many like him. Another thing that probably makes Bo great is his special horse shampoo. During a Twitter Q&A session, Bo had confirmed this, saying, "Everyone thinks I take a good amount of time on my hair, but I really just roll out of bed and roll with it. I use mane and tail shampoo and conditioner. We believe you too can get this from your local grocery store and maybe start making great hits." It is most likely not expensive because Bo's not really an extravagant type of player. He's also apparently secretive about many things in his life, like the possible existence of a romantic relationship. Thankfully, he does give us a glimpse into his workout routine, photos of his dog, shots of him relaxing on the beach or by the pool, all of which you can find on his Instagram page. But nothing too elaborate, so it's mostly just his family, his game, and his humble self. If you enjoyed this video about Bo Bichette, check out the video on the screen now, or the one we posted below, because we're sure you'll like that one too.